76% of coaches fail at booking calls. The reason isn't because of their content or their experience with coaching. They struggle because they're making one critical mistake that stops them from ever getting a prospect in front of them on a Zoom call, sign up to the program. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why most coaches fail at booking calls, and more importantly, how you can win, how you can book calls, how you can find setting calls as easy as I do. Now, the biggest reason that coaches fail at booking calls isn't because they lack knowledge. It's actually because they don't have a structured strategy for the DMs. Now, this doesn't have to sound all robotic and fancy. You need a strategy that actually leads to you booking calls. And here's what most coaches who are struggling typically tend to do. They send cold DMs, they send copy and paste DMs because they have to send 100 DMs a day. They don't understand how to position themselves correctly while sending these DMs. They fail to create conversations that naturally lead to booking a call. And they're gonna attempt to send hundreds of copy and paste DMs, like I just said, and hopes that something will stick. that they're just gonna get calls booked out of nowhere. That hope is not a strategy, it's desperation. But here's like the truth of the matter, here's the crux of the matter. To set calls, you need a predictable system, you need a framework that actually books calls and does it consistently. Now, sending 100 DMs a day with copy and paste, with scripts, is not a strategy. It's just a wild goose chase that's gonna leave you burnt out, not booking calls, and ultimately feeling like sales isn't for me. So how can you actually flip the script and develop a process, a framework to book high quality calls, even without feeling pushy or desperate because you sent 103 DMs and surprisingly you've just not booked any calls? Now, this is the 3-step system that separates, from my experience, successful coaches with the ones who just can't get any calls booked. Now, the first step is to change how you actually start conversations. What you need to do is stop sending generic, spammy DMs that you've probably been shown by a mentor. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but you need to actually prioritize relationship-based conversations. Now, I cannot describe to you the energetic shift, the different kind of energy that gives off and translates into the conversation when you approach it from wanting to help that person. And ultimately, you get more calls booked. What I like to do is use a value-based approach. Now, when you reach out, instead of going in and asking hard questions like, what's your goal? Or how has training and nutrition been for you lately? I like to lead with value and lead with something that can actually help that person so that we start the relationship on the right foot instead of the wrong foot of just trying to get them on a call ASAP. Now, step number 2 is to actually structure and create the conversation in a way that can naturally have a pathway to getting a call booked in. Now, what you need to do, you need to ask, firstly, strategic and ask probing questions that are going to open up sort of real engagement with that prospect. Instead of just trying to push the conversation down your call funnel, your conversation funnel, towards getting a call booked ASAP. The reason people rush is because they adopt this 100 DMs a day mindset and they're like, shit, I need to get this booked ASAP. You're not going to do it like that. That is not going to work. You cannot approach a conversation to make up the numbers. You need to lead the prospect towards realizing that they actually need help before even pitching a call. Now, doing this is such a powerful tool in getting your prospects to actually want to have a call, to get them to show up to the call, to get them to be excited for the call. And through the right framing and questioning, you can get a prospect to have like a light bulb moment where they actually sit there. They think, I really need help. Now, the third step, and probably one of the most important steps before you get a call, is to qualify the prospect. Now, you can qualify them financially, you can qualify if they have the time, if they have the sort of the desire to get on a call and to change. Now, it's absolutely crucial that we do this because we don't want to waste calls or waste time on calls with people who aren't ready to buy, aren't in a position to buy, and can't afford to buy. And it's imperative that we make sure that someone can afford or can want to afford our service before we get them on a call. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. When you're talking to a prospect, you can either sneakily ask a question about what it is they do for work. Is there an active job? Is there a more seated job? And you can gauge it from there. Or you can just straight up ask someone, if we were to show you how we can guarantee that we can get you X, Y, and Z result, do you feel like that's something you would want to invest into? Now, it's also important to sort of judge the vibe that that prospect gives off. Are they giving you a vibe that they want to change, they have to change, they need to change? Or is it just a case of they want to talk to someone on the internet about their goals, they like just talking about it, but they don't actually do anything about it? This is something you need to judge for yourself. It's not like it's a human instinct, and it's something that we can actually judge ourselves. It's not like meet this criteria. If you feel like someone's wasting your time, don't get them on a call. Just give them value and move on to people who are going to be a better use of your time. Now, once we've completed the stages above, once we've qualified, asked probing questions, built trust, then it's just a case of getting them onto a call, suggesting the call to them as a bit of a game plan to help them achieve their goals, and then we can just send them 2 times, get them to book them in manually, don't send the link. I'm going to go over that in another video, and then it's just a case of getting them on the call, getting them booked in. Now, if you want to actually stop struggling with booking calls and start attracting higher quality prospects to get on a call with you, you need to implement a real system. You need a front to back system of booking calls. Now, if you want to actually find out a bit more about me, about the systems I use, the approach I take, the strategies that I use with my clients and with people I've trained in the past, there's going to be a link down below to a landing page where you can find out a bit more about me, a bit more about my services, a bit more about my course, a bit more about how I can help. If you feel like that's something that's aligned with you, if it feels right for your business, and if it feels like it's going to help you achieve whatever financial goal you might have in 2025, there'll also be a link down below to book in a chat with me one-to-one. It's not really a sales call, it's more of an opportunity call to see how I can help you, if I can fit into your business, if my course can help you, if my course can help your team, and ultimately what that would look like in terms of deliverables and an investment. So if you feel like you just want to skip to the queue, you don't want to sort of have to figure out how to do things yourself, click the link down below, go to the landing page, go to the video about how I can help. If you want to book a call, cool. If you want to soak up all my free content, that's fine with me as well. I'll catch you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.